What do you do when you have broken rackets like these on the frame? Do you just put them in the bin? Or you make them into something else, such as a pen? So today I'm going to show you how I turn something like this, a broken racket, into a usable pen. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is CK. So we're gonna go straight into how to make this broken racket into a pen. So if you have a broken racket on the frame, damage like what is shown on the screen, you know it's a game over situation for your racket. So instead of throwing it away, we're gonna make this into a pen. So if the only damage is on the frame of the racket and the shaft is okay, we're gonna use that shaft to make that pen. Just do a quick check to see if the shaft is okay, and then we'll move on to putting the racket on a work surface. So step one for me is I quickly take off any old grip on the racket. From here I take an old pen who I'm going to replace the inside ink stick with to measure the length of the shaft, which I want to saw off, and clamp the racket onto the work surface with a G-clamp or anything that would secure the racket shaft onto your working surface. Next, start sawing the shaft off at one end until it is completely cut through. Take your time and don't rush. You can hold on to the butt end of the racket like I did here for extra stability, especially when you're almost completely through the whole shaft. And this is what it looks like inside the hollow shaft of the racket. Use the original pen to set a marker for your second cut and repeat the same again. Now take this opportunity to admire your new racket pen. One thing that you have to keep in mind is sometimes when sawing, especially about to finish cutting through the shaft, the outer layer of the paint job might come off, as you're seeing on the screen here. This is because all the decals are actually laid on the racket on the shaft before it's baked in the oven. So make sure you're very careful with this, but if this happens, just use some Scotch tape or any kind of translucent tape if you want to, and then wrap them around to keep them in place. This is what it looks like with the tape on. Next, we're going to file both ends of the shaft to make sure that they're smooth and do not cut anyone or anything. To go a step further, you can also round the edges of the shaft. Now on to the second last step. It is to hollow out ever so slightly the inside of the shaft to make sure that the ink tube from your previous pen will fit inside properly and securely. So here I use a power drill with a file attached to one end and use it to file out the insides of the shaft bit by bit whilst checking it with the ink stick. Take your time with this process. This is a trial and error process, so don't worry about it. Take your time. Once you're done with this process, you can see one end is larger than the other end. The larger end will then be able to take the ink tube from the previous pen and just insert it in and seat it in properly and enjoy your new racket pen. hopefully you guys like this video today. If you do, please give it a like, subscribe, and click on the bell button to be notified when new videos are published. Please let me know in the comments down below, what do you do with your broken rackets? Do you just chuck them in the bin, or do you keep them as pens or keepsakes? See you next time.